mutton snapper fishing on the Gulfside Rocks off the Marquesas, a most unusual catch, stubborn barracuda, and even sharing a drink with Papa Hemingway. Well, or at least a good look-alike. It's all coming up on this week's World of Saltwater Fishing from Key West in the fabulous Florida Keys.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing. Big fish don't stand a chance.
We all have a fishing spot that is really a favorite of ours. And the Marquesas, which are basically an atoll that lie around 27, 28 miles west of Key West in the Florida Keys, is one of my most favorite fishing destinations anywhere because of the sentimental nature. My dad was a dentist on Bay Harbor Islands, which is Miami Beach, and he had the nickname the fishing dentist because that was his sport. Ever since I can remember, 6 years old, 7 years old, I used to accompany him on trips down in the Marquesas. Every now and then I'll take out the photo albums that I have that are in my office and look back, especially at the trips to the Marquesas. I don't have them going all the way back to when my dad first started taking me out there, but I have images that date back to the 70s and the 80s and a little bit beyond. It's like a time capsule. You look back at the day and you look at it today, and it's quite the beautiful deal. This was my annual pilgrimage back down to the Marquesas. I was in the lower Florida Keys with my boat, and I had a couple days extra. The weather was looking good. I called my good friend, Captain Mark Schmidt. We go way, way, way back.
And called me up and said, hey, I've got a couple of days. What's your schedule look like? I didn't have any clients, any charters. And he said, hey, let's go fishing. Let's jump on the Mark VI and go fishing. Where else are we going to go? Every year, somehow we end up down in the Marquesas, usually on the north side. And there's always something unique that happens. It's every time.
As Mark and I approached the set of numbers that we wanted to try first, we were slowing down, trying to get everything in order. We have to get the anchor up, ready to go. And as we started to approach these numbers, we didn't quite get there yet. All of a sudden, I'm looking at the Simrad machine, and here comes an incredible piece of structure. For this area of the Marquesas was a major find.
So when I started to see that rubbly bottom right before that sheer face, I said, George, if this anchor sticks right here, we'll be perfect.
I snubbed that anchor line down, the boat was sitting, and we were in a prime position. I said, this is going to be good. But something told me here, because of the sheer size of this structure, the life that was around, I was going to hold off on that light stuff. I was going to get one of the heavy guns for the Marquesas. I was so lucky, I decided to go heavy on that first drop because that pinfish hit the bottom. It wasn't there more than 5 or 10 seconds. I felt a tap, tap, that rod bent, and I was onto something big, heavy, and it was running. And I'm trying to slow this thing, and it's not working. There we go.
There you go. That looks good, George.
Oh, he's got me in a crevice. I can feel the bottom here. That's the bad thing about where we're at. Until I get him out of here. I feel that stuff rubbing. Suffix 832, 30-pound braid, 40-pound fluorocarbon Suffix leader, 4-aught VMC inline circle, Penn Carnage 2 rod, and he's got me, Mark. I'm gonna wait him out. Play little banjos that will aggravate him out. Oh, he's the guitar playing.
There you go, there you go. Tell me when you see him if I need the net.
Here he comes, Mark.
George, that's
a big button.
Yep. You want the net?
I don't want to gamble him. Sure.
Yeah. No, that's not a mutton.
No, it's a big, what is that, a lane? Let's get him in. This is unusual.
Very unusual, and one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
What is it? Dog snapper?
Yep.
Oh, check it. This is a dog snapper.
I'm going to tell you what, that is the biggest one I've ever seen. You know, that is huge.
You know,
you see the bars on him, you know, and a lot of times the younger ones have a yellower tail, but...
Well, the years we've been fishing, have you seen these off the Marquesas?
No.
I'm trying to think back all the years if I've ever caught one.
On the reef, the only time I've ever caught them's on the reef, on the Atlantic side.
And check those teeth. We're called a dog snapper.
Yeah. You know?
Canines.
Pretty fish.
That is a big one too, I gotta tell you that.
No, that's the biggest one I've seen.
First drop in Marquesas, and you know why, and you know what I'm gonna say next. This is what just keeps me coming back here. Family tradition, but first drop, bam.
It was a phenomenal catch, and just a cool way to start off the trip.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Penn, let the battle begin. Mako, you'll find them where the fish are. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Mercury Marine, go boldly. George, we'll be right back.
Mark Schmidt and I are back on the rocks off the north side of the Marquesas, in a toll west of Key West in the Florida Keys. We have a good current and the snappers are chewing.
Re-rig, put another live pinfish on. I join Mark, get back in my corner of the boat, and we're fishing. My pinfish goes down, lasts for maybe, I don't know if it made it 30 seconds. Bam, that rod comes down tight. Tap, 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 pull that thing down, pull it. There we go. Oh.
Another one, George?
Yes, I do. Hey, Mark, at the net.
Okay, give me 1 second. In the middle of a knot tying.
I don't know where I gotta go. I might have to come out here for this guy. Come on. And I see this monster barracuda come charging up. Here he is.
Talk to me, Goose. Where is he?
Oh my God. Oh, barracuda
no.
got a mutton. Get it. He got half the mutton. Or like the tail section. Look at that. Darn it.
Hey.
Maybe he's full.
Sometimes you got to pay the tax man.
I know.
Got him, George?
Yeah, I got him.
Another soft, real soft hit?
Yeah, yep. Here he comes. Mutton, need her net.
Cuda didn't, look at it. Look at that cuda down there.
Right there. I reeled up so fast with it. Mark. Oh.
Nice.
You saw the cuda come up under him?
Yeah, he was right there. I think he's gonna be with us for a little bit here.
Oh, we gotta figure something. I don't want him to get any more, you know, like you said, they want the fresh stuff, but we've got some bonitas are worthwhile throwing that, or maybe get them over and convert them into tube lures, give them a storm out.
We could do that too.
And here's a gorgeous Marquesas mutton snapper, which I consider the prize of the Marquesas when I come here. That's the fish that you really want to get.
Now, are all those big rocks?
Loving the Marquesas. If you haven't figured that out over all these decades why I love it out here, just one more reason. Here I am, downtown Key West in the fabulous Florida Keys, in front of an iconic institution, Sloppy Joe's. I'm here to get to the bottom of something. It's what drives people to come to Key West for the Hemingway Lookalike Contest, which is absolutely huge. I'm about ready to meet Dusty Rhodes. And for you old timers, I'm not talking about Dusty Rhodes, the Saturday morning wrestler. I'm talking about the annual competitor. I want to find out why this competition is so huge down here and what motivates a guy like him to enter it to try to win an award for looking like Ernest Hemingway. So come on, let's go in there, sip a Papa's Plar, and meet Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes.
George!
I appreciate you making time.
Hey, thanks for coming to one of my favorite haunts.
Why is the Hemingway Lookalike Competition such a huge deal down here? I mean, this place in Key West is jammed. And secondly, what inspires you to enter every year to try to win an award for looking like Ernest Hemingway? I need these two questions answered.
Part of the reason for the contest originally starting 40 years ago was July's a pretty slow month in Key West, and they were looking to, prop up tourism a little bit. So that was one of the, one of the incentives for having the Hemingway Lookalike Contest. I got involved 9 years ago, just someone on the street said, "You ought to be in the contest." I said, "What contest?" Of course, and and then history after that.
In keeping with our Hemingway theme, a shout out must go to the Hemingway House, a major Key West attraction where the noted author penned a lot of his works. And of course, I couldn't let my visit with Dusty Rhodes come to a close without a tour of the Papa's Pilar Rum Distillery. After all, in Key West, it's all about Ernest Hemingway.
Dusty, come on in. We need a refill, and plus I need to practice in case this fishing deal doesn't work out for me. At least I could try this.
George, you look wonderful as a bartender. I would.
All right, let's do this side.
Big tips are coming your way.
That's one for you. 2 for me. well, cheers again. I'm loving all this.
To sum it up, I had an awesome time visiting with Dusty Rhodes, a competitor in the annual Ernest Hemingway Lookalike Contest in Key West.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Simrad, 75 years of innovation in marine electronics. Rapala holds the world record for world records. Suffolk's always use the best line. Starbright Boat Care Products, clean and protect. George, we'll be right back.
It's the exciting and often fast light tackle fishing on the relatively shallow rocks off the Marquesas that have made this a long-standing favorite destination of mine and Captain Mark Schmidt. This is all happening some 28 miles west of Key West in the Florida Keys.
So here we go again, and this is really getting tiring because I've seen this happen on my boat all the time where one of my anglers is catching all the fish and not doing anything different. George and I are not rigged any differently. We've got the same setup. We're using the same baits. I don't even get a chance to drop, and boom, he's hooked up again.
Trying to get me on the other side of the boat. Get that rod low so it doesn't hit the boat, a line. Try to work that fish back over here. Keep away from the outboards. And we got ourselves a beautiful mutton. Let's get some underwater so the cuda comes.
Wait, the cuda.
You saved him.
Oh, man.
I credit you for catching this one. You were
It was a race.
second ahead of
It
cuda.
was a race. But it doesn't seem to matter, George. You drifted back, you get them, you drift straight down, get them. I'm over here trying lighter leaders, doing everything I can, so hot rod so far, buddy.
I'm not going to argue with that. I can't argue with it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't ask you to argue
I'm
with
trying
it.
to think of a comeback line to this, and you got me. You stumped me.
Hey, it was my spot, though.
I thought it was mine.
Yeah, it was yours now.
My dad gave me this number 45 years ago.
Yeah, before Loran and all GPS and everything, right?
You had to run by the sun, the moon, the stars.
Right. It was George's day, and I'm happy. That's great. I'm a guide. I love to see people catching fish. I love to see people happy. And when I see George he gets so fired up about mutton snappers, I know they're one of his favorite fish, and we're down in a place that we love. I'm fishing with a buddy of mine. It's all good.
I drop down again, get tapped, come tight, fighting up a mangroves, coming up fairly easy on that tackle. About ready to flip in the boat, and guess who shows up? That big barracuda, and he just nails my mangrove snapper. Pull it down, baby, pull it down. Still small, or whatever this is. Smaller. What is that?
That's a mangrove snapper, George. Right.
Here, we'll play with the underwater.
Whoa!
No.
That was a mangrove snapper, George.
Oh, God. All right, that's gonna look cool.
Oh my, how about this? Mark, that cuda got a good bite of the mutton, and here comes a tasty mangrove, and it was more fitting for him, obviously.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, George. When you drop that back in, he's going to eat the rest, and maybe he'll leave us alone.
So that fish was still in a feeding mood and still not yet satisfied.
George's Tackle Locker, brought to you by King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
ACR's Olus Guardian is a wireless engine kill switch and alarm, which, when integrated with ACR's wearable crew trackers, acts as a virtual safety tether for helmsman and crew. It's the perfect addition to keep your family, friends, and even your pets safer while out on the water. Much like a watch, an ACR Olus tag is worn by each crew member. The Olus Guardian monitors up to 15 of these man overboard tags each of which can be customized and managed through the mobile app. Should any connected crew member fall overboard, the Olus Guardian will kill the engine and sound a highly audible alarm. Additionally, your mobile phone or tablet also sounds a highly audible alarm while displaying the GPS coordinates, bearing and distance back to the location of the man overboard incident, enabling the helmsman to circle back for a quicker rescue. Olus Guardian also gives you the ability to customize what happens for each person on board. Select between the engine kill switch and audio alarm, or simply audio alarm only, making the system more flexible and tailored to your crew. ACR is known worldwide as a leader in safety and survival products for recreational and commercial fishing vessels.
Mercury Performance Stats, Key West, Florida Keys. Seas, 1 to 2 feet. Power, triple Mercury Verado 400 horsepower outboards. Props, Mercury Inertia Eco 21-inch pitches. Total miles traveled, 68. Consistent cruise, 4,200 RPMs. Speed, 42 miles per hour. Total fuel burned, 65 gallons. We'll be right back. George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. ACR, the leader in marine safety electronics. Papa's Pilar Artesian Crafted Rum. Never a Spectator. Float On, the original aluminum immersible boat trailer. King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfishmounts.com.
The current's running, starting to pick up. We're getting pulled away from the rock pile. We're still marking fish on the recorder. And we decide, okay, let's switch up. Let's do some different things. But George says, I'm sticking with my heavier rig. Why wouldn't he? He's been really, really successful. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And he drops down and catches a nice red grouper.
Oh!
Get him, George. They feel groupery?
Yeah. And there's our fire trucks, red grouper. Pull them right in.
There you go.
Now, these are all released now, correct?
Yep, these are all released right now and in closed in state and federal waters. And I'm really surprised that's the first one we've seen today. So we went ahead and released that red grouper and decided, okay, look, we've hit this place where the current's going and the bite just slowed down. You could tell even George wasn't getting the bite, so I knew we were done. My home base in Key West is Murray Marine. It's right there on Stock Island. It's just outside of Key West. I've been there, over 15 years. I've known the Murray family since I started guiding, and they've always been very helpful to me. Anything you need to go fishing, and it's got a great cleaning table. So George and I decided we'd get back to the marina, clean our fish up, and later on that evening, we're going to go over to Rustica and have them cook it up for us.
Rustica's is one of the key places if you like Italian dishes. It's fantastic, but what many people may not realize, they do serve a lot of seafood-oriented dishes as well. And after having a successful trip with Mark Schmidt to the Marquesas, we decided to have dinner at Rustica's. Bring Rob Green, one of our production team members, Captain Mark Schmidt, and also another good friend and Cudjoe area pro, Diego Toyran. We brought our fish in from the Marquesas, turned it over to the staff at Rustica's, said have at it. We're gonna have a great dinner of fresh fish and a lot of, I would say, fishing conversation to accompany our dinner.
So we finished up another great trip with George. Looking forward to the next one. Again, I never know where it'll be or what we're gonna do, but I can tell you one thing. There's always a trip in the works with George and I, and who knows, stay tuned and you'll figure out where we'll be fishing together again.
Reflecting back on the trip with Mark to the Marquesas, it leaves me scratching my head only because the times we fished, did we ever have a bad trip? Naturally, some trips are more productive than others, but we've always caught fish out here. And to come back here once again, enjoying our friendship, and to absolutely crush the mutton snappers like we did, and get that surprise catch of a dog snapper, fend off the typical big barracuda around here, typical Marquesas, and just typical fishing with a good friend. And I can almost guarantee that the next time he and I get together just to go out and have some fun, and I have the boat down here, somehow, some way, I think we're gonna end up back down towards the Marquesas. If you want to keep track of our fishing adventures, we welcome you to follow us on our social media. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/George.Poveromo. I'm on Instagram at George Poveromo. And you can see our shows in 4K broadcast quality on YouTube at my YouTube channel, which is George Poveromo TV. Jump aboard and ride along with us.